Hello everyone, welcome to the Careers Podcast. It's me, Constantina D.
And me, Siobhan Kadir.
And today we are going to talk about LinkedIn, how we use it and how to make the most of it.
Something that a lot of students want to find out about. They see it as a social media they should be on, but feel a little bit uncomfortable using it because it's professional.
So, Siobhan, you had a recent example when you delivered workshop online and one of the students immediately followed the workshop by posting a fantastic post on LinkedIn talking about the workshop, tagging you, so your name appeared in that post, and also highlighting the main learnings they've taken out of the workshop. So what do you think about this post?
I thought it was really lovely, and as a careers professional, to get that level of feedback on what you were talking about and how that student, how it's impacted them and developed them and how they can now see themselves moving forward. I just thought it was incredible. I reposted it. I really loved it, and it's so good to get that feedback that you're delivering the content obviously that they want and they need. But also it was a really good example of how, yes, you can tag people on LinkedIn, how you can create posts on LinkedIn that really draw people in, because obviously she was then drawing in all the people I was connected to. Another WMG student from last year contacted me to say, well, I'm not surprised because I've never forgotten the support you and Constantina gave me. So it sort of sparked something, and it pushes her and I further up the league table, if you want, of LinkedIn, so that people can search us a little bit more because we're more active. And I think that's that kind of thing that can be a really good way of using LinkedIn to bring yourself to the attention of others in yours and other people's networks.
That's coming to my next question, because students do create LinkedIn profiles, they're being checked, we know they look professional and so on, but how to get on the top of the search engine, how to make your profile visible to recruiters. And you suggest that one way to do is create this interesting post that will engage conversation and drag traffic to your profile.
Exactly, because I think the first thing you need to do is obviously have 100% completed LinkedIn profile. I think that's really important, and to talk about the skills that you have. So I think if you take it a step right the way back to the beginning, it's about thinking, what do I want to say about me on LinkedIn? What am I going to be using it for? Well, if I want to use it to get a job, I want to talk about the kind of job that I want. So stage one is, well, what do I know about the job that I want? What skills do I need in that job? And then just starting to complete your LinkedIn profile, to think about what's the message I want to give to the rest of the world. I want to be visible, but what do I want to say about myself? So everything from a nice picture of you, not a passport photo, a nice smiling, welcoming face on LinkedIn. And then a headline, what you're looking for. Postgraduate student looking for a career in X. Undergraduate student looking for placement opportunities. Whatever it is, just something simple that is true to who you are and what your values are, and being authentic. Because I think that's the problem a lot of people have on social media. They kind of try and be something that they're not. Just be yourself.
You can't be. You can't be.
Relax and, breathe and be yourself.
And what about the About Me section? This section that some people don't complete or others just put some bullet points. What will your advice be to make it really attractive? And do recruiters actually read these sections?
It depends on the recruiter. Recently, I've had somebody who was approached on LinkedIn because they were really impressed with their previous work experience and their knowledge in a very specific area. And the way she had presented it was very much, these are the roles that I'm looking for. These are the skills that I bring. So I think sometimes what the best thing to do is maybe to be aware of what you want to bring to the forefront of people's, awareness. Also to have a look at what other people are doing. I'm not saying steal other people's ideas, but sometimes looking at how other people have approached that can generate other ideas for yourself that you think, well, they've done it in this way. That wouldn't quite work for me. Why don't I do it from this angle? And to know that you can always update it if you don't feel it's working, get feedback, talk to recruiters. Think very much about what the sector you want to go into. What are the key skills you need?
So would you mentioned the sector here. Would you suggest that students or even postgraduate students follow key players from the sectors? Do they follow individuals or companies?
I think definitely following companies is a good idea. And I think, see what people are doing in your industry. I think the downside to that is they look at people who've got 10, 15 years worth of experience and are very visible and think, if I don't become as visible as them in about 3 months, I'm failed somehow. They can't see that it's a much longer journey. Look how people have developed and look at their career story, but don't think I'm going to do exactly the same as that. And don't hold yourself to that level, because people have been in this business for 15, 20 years on LinkedIn. Obviously, they're going to have more connections. They're going to have more to talk about. Plan out. Don't just do it as a kind of, one Sunday I'm going to create a LinkedIn profile. But think every Sunday what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about my social media presence and being aware of those audiences and looking what other people are doing and looking at ways that LinkedIn gives you to reconnect to people, to check in. You get work anniversaries, you get birthdays, you get new jobs, all of that kind of thing. So utilising those. But if you do it as a weekly, half an hour on a Sunday, well, let me just check my LinkedIn, you can make such a difference and your content remains fresh. So think about your blogs that you do or your vlogs that you do. Think about maybe something that somebody else has written that you think that's really, really resonates with me, and tag people that you know who would really like to read that, but have a plan.
That's a very good tip, really. And shall we finish with that one for today, that our top tip is have a plan, have half an hour a week to create an engaging, interesting post, tag people, and let's hope you get lots of likes and new contacts.
Yeah, and use the services of your career service to help you bring all of that together. You don't have to do all this on your own. But that's really good advice.
I think that's everything for now. Until next time, goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.